My name's Jen, and today I'm going to be reading some literary works for you for my creative writing class. I hope you enjoy. This is the end. No more drinking alone. That bottle for the trash. Cans ready for disposal. Hold that thought. Sorry about that. Last night's dinner was finding its way back into my mouth before it splashed into the toilet water. My speech-to-write app never fails me. I can catch my real emotions before they're lost in time. My old coworkers, they used to call me a functional alcoholic. I'd laugh casually while taking another sip. At my new job, none of my coworkers know of my disease to the bottle. Well, except my peculiar boss. I appear completely normal. I show up on time, sip at my coffee while sifting through piles of paperwork to begin my day. Most of my thoughts aren't of alcohol, but every now and then my brain questions when it can feel a near psychedelic and absolutely euphoric episode next. I feel the need to state I'm not accustomed to seeing the toilet water turn a tinge of yellow. You know that color. It's a mix of yellow on a dandelion and brown sugar. Really makes you question what the fuck happened inside my gut. Fuck. Typically, pre-recovery, overindulgence in my liquor would leave me waking up to, at most, a slight headache. Now that I'm withholding my cravings for euphoria back, I suffer unbearably. I suppose it's a drawback. My liver and physical body gain years of life now that I'm not drinking daily. But when I fail, well, excuse me again, more fucking dandelions. My failure last night, a bottle of water and an 8% beer. Really, is that so bad? No. What's bad is I indulged in the beer first. See, sober me thought I would stop after the beer. Sober me can be so logical that it's almost fatuous. Drunk me does as she wants. Most of society probably wouldn't consider me an alcoholic. Ha! Except my doctor. She can tell. I'm not far off from clinical alcoholism. I have no DUIs, no DWIs. I hold and maintain a human resources position, pay all my bills on time, and I don't cause society any trouble. A fact is a fact. I used to drink several glasses every night. I remember the pure panic and bug-crawling jitters, shaking and controlling my will if I could not find a drink by 8 p.m. I've been floating in the functional alcoholic range for about 3 years now. I've been held hostage in my own body for a chug of that sweet drug. Several months ago, I grew a desire to control and end my dependency. This is the first time I've vomited from alcohol intoxication in over 3 years. Ugh, more bile. Currently, I'm down to closet drinking 3 times a week. This is not great, especially on days like yesterday and today. Before my recovery, my solo party last night would have had no effect on me today, which is probably why I forgot how tolerance works. In 3 hours, I have a corporate presentation I need to give. I can't miss it, but right now, I can't get off my cold bathroom tiles. This damn presentation is the whole reason I started on the wine last night. It's slowly eating away at my soul. I'm not sure if I prepared is right or wrong, but I have to sell it either way. Okay, we need to talk. That was the worst presentation I've ever given. If I weren't preoccupied speaking about this, I'd be on my 3rd glass of whiskey by now. I refuse to remember the details. I never wish to recall them. To summarize my day was an absolute mortification. I was in no way prepared for the shit pile of questions they trampled me with. Alcohol took over my life today. One look at my boss, and I knew. I failed him. I'm not accustomed to being a catastrophe. It's moments like this I regret my decision to quit months ago. My boss, Eddie. We've had an odd relationship since my interview. I could feel his eyes lingering on me, peering into my soul. I'm not sure why I didn't run away then, but something about his charismatic demeanor and toothy smile made me accept the position. He was professional with me until about 4 months in. We both knew my 6-month review was coming up. I was young and easily convinced I wasn't good enough. That's when things got weird. The messages. I was inundated with late-night conversations. They were never about work for more than an exchange or two, but drunk me fell into the ploy, and Eddie figured out how to feed on my flaw. I was pathetic and allowed myself to be toyed around for a year. A goddamn year! I didn't believe I'd keep getting pay raises without continuing. I think most of the raises were spent on Fireball and Chardonnay, just to cope with my foolishness. I let someone learn how to control me. Stupid, stupid, stupid motherfucking bitch. Deep breaths, deep breaths. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, carrying on. I allowed this to continue for a year. A fucking year. What was wrong with me? Oh, right. I was usually, fuck that, always drunk, and he would pray. He has a wife and a daughter. Things began to change after his daughter became my fellow co-worker. I was able to convince him things needed to change for her sake. The way Eddie preys on so many women, she was bound to find out. In the process of making it all stopped, I convinced him I still had all the disturbing, code-violating, marriage-ending messages. I don't. So far, I've made pay raise every 6 months. There comes a point we all get tired of being used. I believed things would change. I don't anymore. His toothy grin at new hires sends a wave of chills running down my spine. The worst part of selling yourself out is never really knowing what you're worth. Do I actually complete my job right? Or is it all just a lie because I amuse you at night? Clearly, I must be an awful HR rep. It took me a year to handle my own situation with Eddie. But he is my boss. So I guess I'll just never know the truth. Oh, to top it off, tomorrow I'll have to dress in a mix between business professional and clubbing attire. Eddie doesn't talk or text to me anymore, but he doesn't have to. His eyes spoke for him after I botched today. I failed. I failed everyone. I failed. Excuse me, that new bottle needs to be opened. I can't keep thinking about this fiasco. I'm grabbing for my lucky glass, gripping it, turning it over and over again in my hand. Can I resist? I can resist. Can I resist? I reach for the wine. No, I can't. Filling, sipping, fuck it, chug. Filling, sip it, fuck it, chug. Fill it, sip it. Fuck this, I'm just gonna chug it. My bottle's empty now. I want more. Didn't buy more. Need more. Nightfall has come to an end. I've risen with 2 options. Call in sick today or go to work. I feel a desire to hide my embarrassment yesterday brought me, but I can't. Everyone will know. The taste of my own human flesh is quickly within me, followed by a waterfall of regret splashing behind me. I chug to a leave with a bottle of water and drag every ounce of my existence into the shower. I feel a slight relief as a bead of water runs promptly down my spine. I grasp for my air-inhibiting black dress, heels, and shiny white pearls. Hopefully this costume will appease Eddie, and maybe he'll fall for my act. 3 days have passed. 3 days without bliss. 3 days without regret. Perhaps life is filled with an even balance of joy and depression. Then again, perhaps not. Do 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 do. Insert a song. Then again, perhaps not. I slowly sip on the cold draft as a tear streams down my face. I try to hide it. I try to remain resilient, even though I'm as feeble as a string of yarn. It's happening again, and again, and again. And it just barely ended. My mother, her cancer is back. We've been 5 years cancer-free, although the doctors refused to place her in remission until earlier this year. No amount of booze ever heals this wound. At age 18, I learned a demanding lesson. I had to become my mother's medical beneficiary. It was my job to decide on her life. If she was incompetent, 18 years old, I had to play God. I wasn't ready then. I'm still not. So I drink. One human alive or dead. Days still pass. Time still moves.